Oh. Oh. Here we go. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hard right. How many rambles one podcast made? Or you could call it great. How many jacks must one man fall?
Hold on a second. Hold on. So I leave for a week, and this is the crap that we have to deal with.
Yeah, we got bored. We got bored.
It actually sounded better earlier.
It's improving actually. Yeah.
I think you guys need my level of criticism that I normally bring on a regular basis.
Really, I think you missed the part where Nick serenaded us with.
That's what my
buttercup.
So, dear little Ramblecast, sweet little Ramblecast, my little Ramblecast, I love you.
I like that. That's nice.
Very good. See, we should just start with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So do it again.
And go.
Do it again. Start right now.
Because we're not recording it.
I see live right now. What are you talking about? Don't lie to me.
That's just nothing. Just go ahead and hit. Do it again.
It's like an icon. I can put it up there. I can take it off if I want.
I'm not singing the whole song. You're crazy.
No, but you can.
You sang it before we started.
You didn't hear me. You walked off. It was just Matt and I.
Yeah,
but I heard the end. I came back to hear the end.
What do you want to hear?
Serenade me, Nick. Serenade me as you did before.
I'll just sing the last verse then.
Jack's like, you're playing it for him. You can play it for me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. My little buttercup has the sweetest smile. Dear little buttercup, won't you stay a while? You and I will settle down in a cottage built for two. Oh, dear little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, my little buttercup, I love you.
So
there you go.
All right, let me talk about this.
That was really good.
So here's the deal. I never knew you had that in you, Nicholas.
There's a lot of hidden things you don't know about me.
That was actually very sweet.
Well, keep most of those things hidden.
Yeah,
and I think the Ramblecast fans might be swooning right now into the
I think we just doubled our listenership.
We definitely did, and
so
I can say that was a true delight and an unexpected surprise to come from you.
Not to criticize what Matt's
done. Like that backhanded compliment I just gave you there, like come from you.
No, I'm glad that Nick was able to bring it back, because earlier, we were just kind of hanging out before we hit record, and Jack wandered off. Nick's playing, I'm writing, and it just was kind of a nice, like, subtle moment right before the podcast began, and nobody really kind of heard all that. So
it was nice that Chris and I weren't here, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly
but that Nick was able. Is this
going to be like? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second, Matt. Hold on a second, Matt. Are you trying to turn this into Owen Barouge? You're trying to kick Chris and I out?
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
That's not at all what I'm saying. I just
before we were recorded, Jack left. Chris wasn't here, and it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard.
Well,
that's all I heard.
No respect, Jack.
I know. I it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Did you guys happen to see the comments of the latest broadcast, though, where Matt is officially now the 5th broadcaster, and he thanked them for it?
Oh boy,
I did see that.
Yeah,
I did not. Is that a thing? Is that for real?
Yeah, because Jay's the 4th broadcaster, and Matt's the 5th.
I'm on Twitter as the 5th of May. So
yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. I saw it though.
So I'm the 5th abroad. So
yeah,
that's my honorary title. I could lose it, obviously. They could just take it away and bestow it upon some other unsuspecting soul. I assumed that Matt Treist would have gotten it because he seems to talk to them the most.
It's true.
He's got his own like little segment on their show, secretly.
Matt Treese has got a segment on the broadcast.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like
It's been a while since I've listened. To be fair,
okay, all right. So, well, for those that don't know, we do have a sister show, the broadcast. I don't know if it's sister or motherly.
That's kind of sexist.
Are
you allowed to be on the broadcast when you're talking like this?
Might not be. Might not. I'm just gonna abstain from talking. So or.
I'm laughing at something else. If we up to 5,000, I will tell you.
How come Matt? I want to know how we got a segment. Does he want to have a segment?
They don't really have a segment. They just read off all of his. That's what
they play listener calls and emails, don't they?
No, I mean they just do the "That's what she said" kind of segment.
Oh, okay.
And they're usually from Matt.
Hey,
so
can we stop? Can we stop this they crap and just say we? Can you say we instead of they?
Okay, so we on the show on broadcasters 5 together we form a big Voltron broadcast. So
I'm hurt, Matt. I'm just hurt. I mean, we've been podcasting the longest.
I realize that, and
it's true. 12 seasons.
Eventually, apparently.
Well, I'm saying Matt and I, we've been podcasting for like 9-10 years.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But that's okay.
I mean, I'm totally down with like the whole branching out thing. I mean, I think that's good for everybody to branch out. But I just don't want you to forget about us. Nick, this is where you bust out. Don't you forget about me on your ukulele.
Don't you forget about me.
Hey. No.
Little Breakfast Club. No big deal.
Good. That movie still holds up today.
It does not hold
some
up.
Some parts do not.
I think the overall theme of it does, but that movie is hard to watch.
What is hard to watch about The Breakfast Club?
Actually, almost all of John Hughes films don't hold up that well.
Really?
What?
I mean, I think they're all classics, and I like them all, but we grew up in that generation.
Well, I didn't. But isn't Ferris Bueller a John Hughes film?
Ferris Bueller is a sociopath. If you watch that movie, that kid is insane.
But he's funny. It works for me.
It's a good movie, but I'm telling you.
I didn't like when they wrecked the Ferraris. I'm sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When Cameron was in Egypt.
Sorry, I completely lost it for a second.
Cameron go.
And Cameron was like 29 when he filmed that. The guy that I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Really? That doesn't matter. He was just playing to his age.
But I'm sorry. Let's go back to The Breakfast Club not being. I'll watch if it's on. I'll watch it. It has a wrestler, right? It has the nerd.
Yeah.
It has the stuck-up pretty girl. It has the girl that was.
I don't know, but like when I think of John Hughes movies, though, I don't know if I guess I'd put it up there, maybe in the top. I don't know. I don't know what my ranking would be on that, but I don't.
Well, there's a top 2 ranking.
There's a good versus.
That is a good versus.
Sure.
But I tend to like the other. Like I like
versus.
I like
that.
Best John Hughes movies at the end of this podcast. There you go. Think about it.
Like I like The Great Outdoors a lot, but that one's never gets enough credit.
Oh, you should pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick E.T. too.
All right. I never got to share my.
Was it Molly Ringwald E.T.? Wasn't she? Am I wrong?
I never got to share.
Is that a ginger joke?
So many movies.
Oh yeah,
you're just now.
Like even his last one. I like Curly Sue a lot, and no one likes Curly Sue.
I thought it was Carly Sue.
Curly Sue.
I thought it was Carly Sue.
Curly.
No, that's the Buddy Holly song.
Yeah, you got Uncle Buck and
Home Alone.
Yeah.
All the National Lampoon's vacation movies.
How did you not pick Home Alone 5?
He didn't write Home Alone.
All of those.
I don't think.
What's that?
I don't think he wrote Home Alone. I think he was just part of it, but he didn't think he wrote it.
It just has to be part of it. I think that's the verses. It just has to be part of it.
That's
I
fair.
forgot about Home Alone. Shoot, that probably a win.
Ooh.
Hopefully I get to go first.
Yeah, Chris Columbus directed Home Alone.
I just wanted to say,
Wait, I thought he discovered America.
That was Amerigo Vespucci. John Hughes. wrote Home
Wait,
Alone.
Amerigo Vespucci did Home Alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Leif Erikson.
So John Hughes wrote
Leif
Home
Garrett.
Alone.
We have derailed.
Leif Garrett.
oh,
He was a teen idol, but okay. Let's face it. Let's be honest here. If you're listening, Leif, I apologize, dude. You didn't age well. You're up there with what's his name?
weird
Our
science.
biggest fan.
Our biggest fan. I'm trying to blank on his
Richard Grieco.
Richard Grieco and Leif Garrett. That could be a versus who aged worse.
Half our listeners
What does
going,
Leif Garrett
I don't
look
even know who
like
those guys are.
Well, look up Leif Garrett. He was like, I don't think he ever did it. He was in.
Oh my goodness! Well, he was an ugly dude, like when he was young.
But girls liked him. He was like on the teeny bop.
That's what happens when people put you on. Oh Jesus!
He was on The Outsiders. He was in The Outsiders.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought he had been really old for that.
He plays a. I'm pretty sure he plays a greaser on The Outsiders.
Wow, he does not look good.
I told you.
I will say though that
I'd stand next to Leif Garrett and say, okay, I don't look so bad.
all right. So here's what I will say though. I will say if I'm on the spot right now, I would say that Leif Garrett probably aged better than Grieco.
Oh wow!
Because you think Grieco is better looking.
Well,
In his
here's the
day?
thing. Because I think that there's so much more of a dynamic transition from 80s and 90s Grieco to today. It is a vast difference.
All right.
I'll say that Leif Garrett started off ugly, and
So the bar was already low.
He was already he had a lower bar. So like when he got older, I actually think he probably looks better now than he did when he was young.
I think Leif Garrett was related to some director, someone in Hollywood.
Okay,
I think Telly Savalas. Why am I thinking Telly Savalas?
really?
I don't know why Telly Savalas just popped in my head.
Well,
Find
let's
out
check
next
out the
week
old.
when he's right.
Let's check out the old Wikipedia.
Why am I?
We're going to do it now.
I was actually having this conversation with someone not too long ago
loves you, baby?
about Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe was never good looking,
No.
but he is aged just fine for being someone who's not
Yeah,
good
because
looking.
he's as bad looking now as he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
worse, no less.
Yeah.
It was like he started out with an F face and he's worked his way to a C minus.
Sure. But there are people out there that find him attractive because he looks so much different and he has like the ageness looks it's like wisdom lines, but he's had them his whole life.
Well, how come William Dafoe was not made superstar status? Is it because of his looks?
I know who he is.
I know who he is, but he's
Didn't he have much more of a Broadway career than he did movies?
I would
that
probably
what-
think so, yeah.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
But
All
he's
right.
been lots of-
And it's nothing against William Dafoe. I mean,
No.
No,
If
it's
you're
just
listening,
against Broadway because no one knows who they are.
well, Willie, if you're listening, we're not trying to pick on you, but it's just you were great. You were so fantastic on Platoon.
Yeah. So then I go.
How
many
you got
iconic
shot
roles-
and died?
How many iconic roles does he have, really? Though, like you have Platoon, you have the Green Goblin, and then there's
don't call that iconic role, the Green Goblin. That was
Yeah,
terrible.
But I'm saying, like,
I stopped at Platoon.
But
Yeah.
people that know it, because there's things like Chris and I who love Boondock Saints, but
Yes.
how many people really know Boondock Saints? But I'm saying like characters that people would know him
52.
from. He's
That's how
52.
many people like Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah.
What?
No, you lost someone. Someone died, so it's down to 51.
All right, 51. He really hasn't had. I mean, he was in The English Patient. I guess that's kind of a very well-renowned movie. But other than that, no.
He was in that Super Bowl commercial a couple years ago, Cadillac or Porsche or Jaguar. It was,
Platoon's definitely his biggest role.
and he was fantastic.
Oh
in
wait,
Platoon.
Mississippi Burning,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
Born on the 4th of July.
I forgot about
all right.
The Deer
So-
Hunter too.
So
Wasn't he in
after
the Deer Hunter?
1990,
I'm
No.
thinking of somebody else.
after
Ow!
1990, he kind of fell off the bridge.
Thinking
So what happened? Did he maybe he didn't like making movies? Maybe he went to maybe I know what it was. He asked Katherine Heigl for advice on how to make it in Hollywood, stay popular in Hollywood.
Smoke a lot, insult everybody, you know.
Wow, yeah, he really didn't do a whole lot, huh? Oh, Finding Nemo.
I know, but yeah,
Who was he in Finding Nemo?
Finding Nemo. Gil.
Oh, right,
Who's
yeah.
Nemo?
The small, thin one, yeah.
Yep.
And he also plays Nemo. And
Triple X, State of the Union.
Yeah. I mean, he's in Wes Anderson. He's in Life Aquatic.
Yeah, Steve Zissou.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, even those
He
movies
was
really...
he was in a Jesus movie, wasn't he? That was controversial.
Yeah, he was in Last Temptation of Christ.
Last Temptation of Christ. Yeah, you're right.
So I think what year was Last Temptation of Christ?
88
something. Yeah.
So 88 right here.
You think God said, "Okay, your career is going down the drain"?
So it's like he had a pretty good career up until like 1990, and then he decided to only do work with Wes Anderson. That would be recognized. I mean, everything else is unrecognizable. Like, I mean, you look at Boondock, but like I love Boondock, but I know the Boondock Saints is an absolutely terrible movie. Yeah. I just love it.
Yeah.
I thought he did good as Green Goblin.
Oh no,
I mean,
my life is more like a Wes Anderson movie, but you know.
Yeah,
it's all steady cam pans.
Steady cam pans with lots of intricate stuff behind me. So
he does a lot of voice work.
I can see that.
He
Like
does have a great voice.
He's got a great. He's got an A+ voice.
I mean, think about it. Think about
the
Green
D-Phase that he got A+ voice.
He's got a face for radio that Willem Dafoe does. Yeah, he's also going to be. He's in the upcoming Aquaman movie. He'll be in it.
Oh, I hope he plays his dad.
Yeah, I mean, think about his Green Goblin voice. You know, which is
Nuidus Vulko.
He plays his dad.
He's in this recent reboot of Murder on the Orient Express.
Actually, the dad should be played by what's his name from Dallas, who was the TV Aquaman, Patrick Duffy. That's who should play his dad, right?
Oh,
no.
All right. So, seeing as we're going on complete different tangents in this show, after the musical montage at the beginning, you kind of gone off on crazy.
My little buttercup.
I gotta tell you, talking about Aquaman for a second. I don't know if you probably can find it on YouTube.
I have to turn off the slide.
There was a pilot that was shot for Aquaman, and it was there it is. I just googled it. It's there. It was a pilot that was shot for, I believe, like a promotional thing to try and get WB to pick up a TV show, like along the lines of like a like Smallville type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I actually enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. Justin Hartley, who actually played the Green Arrow in the Smallville universe, was Arthur Curry, Aquaman, in this pilot. And you can watch it. It's got like a half hour pilot. But check it out. It had like Justin Hartley, Lou Diamond Phillips, Ving Rhames.
Wait. Speaking of guys who fell off the earth, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, okay.
La Bamba, and what happened to him?
Young Guns.
Young Guns. Okay, but what happened after that? He was just like bit parts.
Yeah, pretty much. He was in that serial killer movie from the 80s, the Zodiac Killer. What was it called?
Zodiac Killer.
Oh gosh, no, it wasn't called Zodiac Killer.
Killings in Frisco.
Oh, The First Power.
The First Power.
Yeah, that was a creepy movie.
Is that the new Star Wars movie?
Yeah, right.
The Last Power. The First and Last Power.
Yeah, he's a dedicated LA police detective, and a female psychic must stop a demonic serial killer who is given the powers of resurrection, teleportation, and possession.
Wasn't Lou Diamond also in Longmire?
Yes, Longmire.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is. Because I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes. I go, okay. I think I remember talking about we used to do that. Jay and I used to do like 10 TV shows and like around the horn type thing. And I said after the 4th, I go, look, there's not that many people in Wyoming. There's no way.
I remember
that
you
many
saying
people
that.
Being killed. There's just too many people dying in Wyoming.
It made sense to me. I was like, yeah, it's like one of the least populated states in the country.
But every week, 10 people die. It's no way. It's like Hawaii Five-0, which I still watch. Countless people die there. Why would anyone go to Hawaii?
Those shores.
Hurricanes, volcanoes, that's not a big deal, but people being murdered every day on Hawaii Five-0.
Chris, what else did you find?
For Lou Diamond Phillips.
Welcome to the Ramblecast. Where we talk about
Lucy
Lou
in the
Diamond
Sky
Phillips.
with Lou Diamond Phillips. I don't know what that is. Yeah, dude, that's it. Like he's probably the worst of the
And he
offenders
started out
here.
with an A+ face.
It's like
He did.
It's like Emilio
He
Estevez.
did.
Just Emilio
But he-
Estevez dropped off the planet.
But I think he did it by choice, right?
Probably.
I love you, Lou. Come on the show.
Yeah.
LDP. Yeah, bring it. Let's go.
With
Oh,
DDP
man.
as well. Can we
What
get,
hap-
can we,
what-
can we
again,
get, can we get a little Lou Diamond Phillips with Diamond?
We
Dallas
can't
Page?
get Diamond Dallas Page until Jack agrees to jump on the yoga train.
Well, Emilio Estevez, Nick brought him up. What has he done lately?
Nothing. I don't think he's worked in a decade or more.
Well, let's find out. We do have the means.
Quack, quack, quack.
New segment
Emilio
called Where Are They
Estevez.
Now? What
Where
the hell
are they
moved
now?
to?
Again, I've talked about this before. The worst scene
What
in
happened to this guy?
the original Mighty Ducks when they show Emilio Estevez skating in the distance, and he's like 6'10", but he's only like
He's
5 feet in
actually
real life.
really starting to look like his father, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I really loved Young
He could be in the remake of The West Wing, the reboot.
Could be.
Yeah, like it's his
Um,
son coming up and like he's like doing his own thing. Like,
Well, Bartlett only had 3 daughters.
But this is his illegitimate son.
I was going to say, there you go. There's the story.
Mhm.
He's
So
the Clinton. He's the
interesting.
Clinton of the White House.
Yeah.
So he has not had any actor or production credit since 2012, with the exception of a release this year in 2018 called The Public, which came out back out in January with Christian Slater and a bunch.
Okay.
Alec Baldwin. Okay, there's actually some people in this movie. Don't know what it's about, but probably because it sucks. But in The Public is a unusually bitter Arctic blast that has made its way to downtown Cincinnati and the front doors of the public library where the action of the film takes place. Oh my God.
Well, there's your problem. There's your problem.
Library
It
patrons
takes place in
who are
Cincinnati.
homeless, mentally ill, marginalized. Oh my God, I'm bored.
So that's the 82 playoff game between Cincinnati and the Chargers, whereas 53
Yeah.
below.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Did you ever get
So
around to
Christian
watch?
Slater too. What happened to Christian Slater?
I know exactly.
he was a Mr. Robot.
He was
he?
in Mr.
That's
Robot.
right, he was. Yeah, well, that's the movie.
Right.
I saw him in those like Wind Talkers.
Uh huh. He's in
Nick
Rick and
Cage.
Morty. All right. He's also got a lot of voiceover work too. Looks
Did he
like.
did he always speak like Jack Nicholson, or did that get changed as he got older?
Well, yeah, as he got older.
Yeah.
He was
That's
an
the guy
Archer.
that started off with an A+ face.
He was Christian Slater was in the West
In
Wing.
the West Wing. That's right. He definitely
Yeah.
was in the West Wing. He was the
He was Donna's boyfriend.
right.
She was trying to switch her vote because she
Right.
voted for the wrong person, and she wanted someone. She didn't vote for Bartlett. She voted for someone else.
That's right.
Did you guys ever see? This is one of my true guilty pleasure movies. Came out in like 90 or 91 called Cuffs.
No.
Cuffs.
Yeah, it's a cop movie in San Francisco with it's like Milia Djokovic's like second movie when she's like
I am a fan.
yeah, it's called Cuffs, and it was a cop movie, but also wanted to be a comedy, so it didn't quite work. But as a 10-year-old watching it, like I thought it was the greatest movie ever, and I still to this day watch it when it comes on because it's just weird.
Is it CUSS?
Kuffs? Cuffs.
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 Sorry, I think my
Cuffs.
cuffs is like swear.
I've seen the porn. I've
KUFFS.
seen the porn version of that one.
Cuffs, 1992,
Mm.
starring Christian Slater. So I will tell you that Christian
I
Slater
was great in that movie. By the way,
does star in one of my favorite all-time movies, and it's actually the movie that inspired me to go to college for a career path that I never would take, and that is for radio broadcasting. And that movie was Pump Up the Volume.
Oh, yeah.
That's
One
what I
of
Yeah.
my favorite flicks of all time.
I've seen that.
I'm
Many years
so
ago,
glad
but-
that you mentioned that. That was the movie that I was looking for. Actually, I was just scrolling through his
Nice.
great '90s hits, and I was like, "What?" And I wanted to get it right because I was like, "Is it Turn Up the?" I was like, "No, I think it's Pump
No,
Up
it's
the Volume."
Pump Up the.
Yeah,
And then if you go back
It had a
even a
great
little
soundtrack.
bit further, you could even jump into, I don't know, Gleaming the Cube the
Oh, yeah.
year prior.
Again, I've seen the porn version of that movie.
Oh boy.
You know, a movie that is often overlooked and underrated that Christian Slater and Kevin Bacon both starred in that did great performances is Murder in the
Chip?
First.
Oh yeah, great flick.
Yeah.
But no one remembers it. No one talks about it. But it's one of the best performances probably Kevin Bacon ever did. And no one. And
Better than Footloose.
better than Broken Arrow.
A Broken Arrow. Yeah, that's a John Travolta great one.
Hey, it brought him back on the map. He's doing
at least
three. Before that.
Are you talking about Travolta?
Travolta, yeah, you said Travolta, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought it was Pulp Fiction that brought him back.
Yeah, you're right. Pulp Fiction brought him back. Yeah, you're right. Totally correct.
I just was looking at that Christian Slater was in that movie as well. So
he played the good guy. Spoiler.
Oh man, True Romance, of course. A great movie.
I love how this entire podcast is just going through someone's IMDb.
Yeah, we're in like 7 degrees here.
Well, he was in a TV show, Christian Slater, that got canceled, and I liked it. It was some kind of twist where they would go back and forth.
Time?
No, I can't remember time, but like he was a bad guy, he was a good guy, bad guy. I liked it.
Post or pre West Wing?
It was it was
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He's also in one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. And he does play the older brother. His name is Nick Woods from The Wizard of 1989. He does play Fred Savage's older brother.
Oh,
I love that movie. Wait, The Wizard?
Yeah,
that's the one with the video games, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the movie where before like the days of being able to Google and find tricks and tips and like hints on how to play games, like that movie taught everybody how to get the whistle in Super Mario Brothers 3. I think it was.
That's actually what I was about to say too, because that's the movie where Super Mario Bros. 3 debuted.
It was.
And I remember when I watched that movie going like, "Oh, there's a third one!" Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And then of course there was the introduction of one of the most amazing, incredible, non-functioning video game accessories ever created, and that was the Power Glove.
Yeah,
I remember the glove.
Yeah.
Did you have to get that for Jay?
I don't think we did. I don't know.
Come on, Dad. I gotta have it.
I'll be honest. If we did, he still has it.
Yeah. It's still in the box.
The box.
Never use it.
You can't open it. It's going to be worth something someday. Which he was probably right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizard. Yeah, I remember.
I never saw the Wizard.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Mr. Wizard.
There's a lot of those '80s movies that when you're a kid or you thought they were really good, and then you kind of watch them later, you're like, oh, I can't believe I like this. The Wizard actually is still pretty good.
It's like The Breakfast Club.
Well, The Breakfast Club holds up better than The Wizard. But what's the one? Cloak and Dagger, the kid from E.T.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that movie freaked me out. The woman with the missing finger and the chloroform.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious, that terrified me as a kid.
Yeah.
The Wizard wasn't good when it came out, let alone hold up. Like, I mean, right now, if you look at IMDb, it's got 6 out of 10 stars. And
that's not bad.
It's had 29 years to try and clear that up.
Well, that's above average.
Yeah, fair. But I loved that movie because I was such a video game nerd when I was a kid, and still am.
Still am. Yeah. Still are.
Yeah. That's another backhanded compliment there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Fred Savage was in that. What's he up to?
Fred Savage, dude. He's been up to a lot.
Yeah.
He was in that show with Rob Lowe.
And he's at a show currently, Friends from
was that show with Rob Lowe? What he did was on Fox, and they canceled it. What was funny? Plays a lawyer. The Grinder. Yeah. The Grinder was hilarious. It's on Hulu.
Never watched it.
It's.
By the way, the name The Grinder does not sound like.
I know exactly.
I mean, I'm like,
but that's the whole point of the show, because Rob Lowe plays a TV actor who's a lawyer called The Grinder, and what he does is he's grinding it out, and he wins the case. So Fred Savage is a real lawyer in
It sounds like a male strip club to me.
Utah, or he's in some small place.
How many?
So everybody loves The Grinder, and William Devane plays the dad. You guys know William Devane, right?
Mhm.
I'm William.
He's William Devoe's brother.
You can buy some gold. But he plays Kelly Leak's. He's Kelly Leak's dad in The Bad News Bears. That's who William Devane is.
All right. So on the contrary from our original discussions, I would say that, the years have treated Fred Savage pretty well. So
he looks young.
Handsome guy. And he's probably the only actor that you could say actually grew up to look like a young Steve Guttenberg.
What happened to Steve Guttenberg?
Great question, Jack. Let's find out.
By the way, William Devane. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, yeah. William.
I'm William Devane. You should invest in gold. Yeah, invest in gold. I'm William Devane.
So Steve Guttenberg, he did actually play a bit role in The Leftovers, did he not?
Oh, I think he played himself, didn't he?
Am I wrong with that?
I don't think he did. Did he? I don't remember. Because he was in everything.
I sworn
he was in, making three kids and a little lady, three kids and a baby.
Oh yeah,
three kids and a prostitute. Cocoon. Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He's another one where he was dying of cancer. That was a pretty good movie too. I forget which one.
Michael Keaton was in a movie where it was called Life. He was dying of cancer. Yeah. It was the first time that I actually cried in the theater. And we met it was in San Diego, and we saw somebody there that we knew. And I said, I poked my eye with the straw. That's why I said I was tearing up. I was crying during the whole movie.
That's a good one, yeah, because he videotapes all the things for his son in the future, and
right.
Well, the Stephen Guttenberg one though is that he had cancer and he's in love with this woman, and he's basically catfishing her before catfishing was a thing. She falls in love with him, but then he's like, it's a different movie. Did
he use the picture of Tom Selleck?
No, he makes. Because he's bald, because he's going through leukemia and all these other things, and I can't remember. It's been 20 years.
I don't think I saw this one.
Yeah, I'm sure Chris, if he's got his thing, he can look up the name a little bit.
But what happened to it? What happened? I mean,
all right. So recently he was on Ballers, the TV show.
That's what it was. That's what he plays, a obnoxious
rich guy.
He's like Steve Wynn.
Yeah.
Of Las Vegas. That's the character he's playing.
All right, I'm going kind of crazy right now.
Glad you got that, Matt.
So.
Thanks. And Sharknado 4, by the way.
It apparently was not Steve Guttenberg that I'm thinking of. However, it's going to drive me crazy. I want to find out who it was. Who was the person that was in, I believe it was The Leftovers.
Okay.
And he was the guy that they went to go meet, who was part of, what's her name? The main female character who goes and tries to meet up with the company. Nora. No. She goes and meets somebody in a hotel.
No, that's too close. Two cousins or two
perfect strangers.
Perfect strangers was
right. Thank you.
And doesn't look anything like Steve Guttenberg. No, but that's okay.
Same genre of television, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like him.
Nope.
And Steve Guttenberg was known for movies, not TV. So where are you going with this?
No idea. But
Mark Lynn Baker.
Thank you. So here's the thing, though. I mean, my microphone cut out a bit. Shocker. But I think that I believe. Did you guys mention probably his most iconic role that he's ever had as Officer Kerry Mahoney?
Yeah.
In the Police Academy series.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So my mic did cut out.
Great. Steve Guttenberg. Did we talk about that?
Steve Guttenberg? No, I don't think we talked about the Police Academy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something we need to mention.
Is that a movie the series that went on too long?
No.
Well, yeah, but I think at some point it was the ridiculousness.
That's the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what you like. Because I like Citizens on Patrol, but there's a lot of people out there that really hate it. So
Citizens on Patrol, I thought was their last great one.
Yeah,
I got pissed when Bubba Smith wasn't given an Oscar.
Well, now there's a popular vote. So for the Oscars, so maybe he'll get it.
Chewie eventually got a MTV Movie Award because he didn't get a medal in it. So you never know. Bubba could get one.
I think Bubba's dead.
Oh, post.
I could be wrong.
Posthumously.
He used to do great commercials with they used to have those light beer commercials, Miller Lite, I don't know, you kids can remember those, but those were some of the best commercials of all time.
Oh, whatever happened to Miller Lite commercials? Let's look those up.
but they have like Bob Uecker. He goes, there's one where Bob Uecker he's sitting in a seat. They goes, oh, sorry, we're going to move you to another seat. He goes, oh, former star, that's move me to the front row. So they put him all the way to the top of the stadium. So that was like every time you went to the stadium, I must be in the front row. That was great. Bob Uecker those were the best. You had Bob Uecker, Bubba Smith.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, here's the trivia for you. West Wing trivia.
Okay.
How can you you can do this within 1 degree of separation, but can you tie Steve Guttenberg to the West Wing?
Steve Guttenberg to the West Wing. So it has to be someone. Well, didn't you say Christian Slater was?
Yeah, he's just about everything, right?
Let's see.
What was Christian Slater and Steve Guttenberg in together?
I don't know. I thought we were talking about
that. Sorry, I'm on Mark Lynn Baker's.
Sorry, we've already gone like 6 generations since.
It's got to be what's his name? The guy who played Josh, because he was in a lot of those movies back then, right? Revenge of the Nerds and let's see, Rob Lowe. It's got to be Rob Lowe.
Okay.
It's going to be...
you'll never get it. It's completely obscure. But
all right, go.
In 1981, Steve Guttenberg played Jim Craig of the 1980 U.S. Olympics on Miracle on Ice.
Well, be fair, come on. This is a made-for-TV movie.
It was a made-for-TV movie called Miracle on Ice in 1981, where he played Jim Craig. And Herb Brooks, the coach of the 1980 U.S. Olympics team, was played by Carl Malden. Carl Malden was actually Father Thomas Cavanaugh from the West Wing.
Oh, that's right. That's correct. I never would have got that.
Nope, I didn't either. I just happened to click. It was the first thing I saw.
But I did watch that movie.
Nice.
In fact, my wife was working at a skating rink, and they were doing the tryouts for the actors.
Oh, no kidding.
At that movie, and there was people there trying to learn how to skate.
So they can act.
I think Robert Urich was one that was. I don't think did Robert Urich make the cut.
Let's find out.
Mr. Tantana.
No.
I'm sorry. You just can't.
The only notable names in this movie that I recognize are, Steve Guttenberg. And Jessica Walter. Weird.
I think the guy that played you guys seen Slapshot, haven't you?
Of course.
Dave Killer Carlson, I think, is in that movie.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Well, that's what made the movie Miracle with America's favorite actor, Kirk Douglas. So it was the fact that people that the guys that were the actors, the skaters, actually could skate. They weren't Emilio Estevezing it. That's Gordon Bombay, man. He was killer in Pee Wee's. Let's give him a tryout in the NHL. Yeah, that happens every day.
By the way, Jerry Hauser.
That's it. Jerry Hauser
was in both of those movies.
Yeah, there you go. So Jerry Hauser must know how to skate.
And believe it or not, he was also a voice on Darkwing Duck. What?
Oh.
Wasn't he also in the movie Summer of 42 or Summer of 42 or Summer?
Jack, you are mentioning names of movies that literally seven people know.
This podcast should be called, wasn't he in...
Well, I say we just keep going, but wasn't he in the movie of Summer of 42?
Jack, you're missing an obvious one that I thought that you would mention because there has been probably at least 50 episodes where you have not missed the opportunity to mention your favorite TV show of all time.
MASH?
That's right. He was Danker in MASH.
Well, everybody was in MASH. I mean, really. I mean, if you look at it, everybody. Ron Howard was in MASH.
And his first ever credit as an actor was Oski from Summer of 42.
There you go. Oski. Yeah, Oski. Because who's the other? What's the other guy in the movie? What's another name?
Okay.
What's the lead female?
Jennifer O'Neill.
Jennifer O'Neill, her husband dies in the war, and she makes love with one of the kids, and that was the summer of 42. But then she leaves because he was in love with her all summer.
Scanners back in 1981,
and she also did that movie "I Want to Be a Hero" with John Eric Hexum, who accidentally killed himself with a blank gun.
Oh, how about that?
My sister was in love with John Eric Hexum.
Okay.
He was good looking guy. I can say that. I don't know. I don't know if he's.
Did he have an A face or?
He had an A face. He's one of those jerks that had the A face, A body guy.
But an F personality.
I know he seemed like a nice guy.
So Jennifer O'Neill was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Really, I would not have guessed that looking at her.
Mm-mm.
But no, who's the guy that play? Who's the name another kid on that? Another, I know Oski. Who names their kid Oski?
The other kid, Panoski. Come on down to Oski
Benji.
Benji. No, it wasn't Benji.
There was a Benji. I'm looking at the
I know. I'm saying it wasn't Ben. I don't think it was
Hermie?
Benji. Hermie. It was Hermie.
Gary Grimes.
So you gotta wonder a name like Hermie. How did he ever get laid? The guy had to die over in World War II.
Hermie. Why can't it be him?
It looks like Jack. I mean, this is literally the most knowledge I've ever had about this movie. But it looks like it had a sequel, The Class of '44.
Whoa!
It did. I do remember the sequel, but the sequel wasn't as good as the Class of the Summer of '42.
And officially, I will state that I think this game now sucks.
Which game?
What we've been playing.
I think that's the music.
Who's on
I think that's how the music goes. Maybe
Nick can
play it on his Terminator.
Your resonator guitar.
Play the resonator. Play it, Nick. Play it for everybody.
Get to the resonator.
I want to hear it. Ah!
Nick's been looking up and doing his own homework.
All right, so can we come up with someone else? I think the whole podcast should be just people that used to be entertained.
Like 7 degrees of Ramblecast?
And then we lose half of our patrons.
I think people find this stuff fascinating because you look on any of those what are those things called, those things they people
there's an outside chance that people have found this conversation fascinating, but then
I'm sure
all of those people stopped when we started talking about the summer of '42.
There's some old people out there listening to.
Listen,
I remember that movie. That was great.
We can't review movies. We cannot review movies that are only available exclusively on Stars.
No, we have to ask. I think that the child abuse for who names their kid Hermie. And was it Oski? Was it Oski?
I'm just looking at people that were on MASH at some point. So Jeffrey Tambor,
Lawrence Fishburne, he was. Jeffrey Tambor, Lawrence Fishburne, Patrick Swayze was on it.
Commander
Really?
Silk.
I just realized that I had muted my microphone a few minutes ago, and I've been talking to you guys this whole time.
Wow, that's amazing. No wonder it's just been so pleasant.
They just figured Chris was talking white bother.
I kept wanting to ask Chris this whole time if he'd ever gotten around to watching
Das Boot.
Boot yet.
I haven't.
Das Boot!
Life has been a bit crazy. I haven't had much time to be watching movies lately. But
are you playing video games?
When I have time. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That takes precedent over watching TV.
Well, just don't say I don't have time. When you do have time, you choose to do something else.
I got you.
That was my dad voice.
Oh,
hey.
Wow.
So because I just okayed you, I want to read an article. This article is fantastic, and this is actually going back to the married man days. But I found this article while I was checking my mail. If any dads out there have ever heard of the website called Fatherly.com, it's actually a pretty cool rotating blog of really cool articles and stories.
Okay.
And I get an email, I think once a day or a couple times a week, I'm not quite sure, about their top articles in this issue of their top stories. And one popped up, and I was like, I think I'm going to read that. So it says, every father should give up this one thing to stay happily married. And I was like, interesting. Let's read this.
Hold on a second. Once you say I do.
Yeah, so this article is fantastic. And I wanted to read an excerpt from the article itself. I found it hilarious, and I shared it with everybody that I work with. So it says, the first piece of advice applies not only to new dads, but to all men who seek to get along with women. Take the idea of being right, set it on fire, shoot a bunch of holes in it, and flush it down the toilet. Once you realize that it's more important to get along than it is to be tethered to the weight of facts. Life takes on a new lightness, and love becomes a whole lot easier. Now, according to Buddha, patience doesn't mean being a doormat. It's a highly intelligent form of self-protection. It's an armor that cannot be penetrated by the self-inflicted wounds of anger. Now, let's say your beautiful consort turns around one day, and without warning, her gorgeous smile has been temporarily replaced with a flamethrower because you didn't fold your socks. Rather than engage the part of your brain that might respond with some logical argument about how, first of all, perhaps if those socks aren't even your socks, take a breath and hug the source of your incoming fire. Tell her that you love her and realize that if you want a happy home, the importance of being right has to go the way of casually choosing which restaurant to head to for dinner. Like male nipples, being right becomes vestigial. The impulse is still there, but it grows dimmer. Until one day, it's just a vague memory of something you can happily do without. Also, never forget the asymmetry in your arsenal of weapons. She has the silent treatment and withholding sex, neither of which you are very good at. Bottom line, being wrong and happy beats being right and sleeping on the couch every time.
So the whole thing is to lie?
It's to survive.
It's just...
Am I right? Just to lie?
I did not.
So I teach my kids not to lie, but yet I have to lie. Those aren't my socks.
I am not agreeing with you.
I'm saying that there has been moments in which you just survive. It's not about
I wasn't saying that's what you should do. I'm just asking if that's what the article's about. I should lie.
Sometimes you don't poke the bear.
Because I know I forgot.
Around.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about this last week, but
Chris pointed to me, I think, so he's agreeing with me on that.
My wife last week said when we're watching Zach, and sometimes I goof around with Zach and do things. Probably, I did it with my kids too. I would. Oh, that's why. So anyway, my wife goes, because sometimes I act like a kid and all that different stuff. She goes, "You're exhausting. You're just exhausting." I go, "What does that mean?" You wear me out sometimes. You're just exhausting to deal with. You're like having another kid. So all week since she said that, and if you do say something like that to me, of course I'm going to say, every time she said something, I go, "I know, I'm exhausting. I'm exhausted," which is just pissing her off even more. So you're saying I shouldn't, but I'm agreeing with her. So in this point, I'm agreeing with her, but I'm still wrong.
You're always wrong, Jack.
There's no right answer.
So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beginning of that article. So you take that idea of being
let the
right.
record show that Chris's wife was in the other room for the last 5 minutes.
Cannot confirm. Yes, I can, or deny that's true.
I did see him sweating.
Yeah, a little bit. So take the idea of being right, set it on fire, shoot a bunch of holes in it, and flush it right down the toilet.
I saw an article I was going to read. I didn't read it, but it was on Facebook, and I was going to bring it on the show, and I forgot about it. But it was a couple been trying to get pregnant for 4 years, so I don't know if this is true or not. But yet they were doing it in the wrong hole.
What?
Wait, what?
So I didn't read the article. I was going to save it and bring it.
They couldn't get pregnant. Is that what it was?
Right? Yeah.
I did not read the article, but
you saw it.
Why?
That's what it was.
The target was a small thermal port just below the main.
Stay on target. Well, the problem was that the guy kept saying, the guy behind him, use the Force. And he didn't have it. He didn't have the Force. He wasn't a Jedi.
Negative. It just impacted on the surface.
That's awesome.
Negative goes right into the pattern is full. Anyway, which brings me that. You guys ever see that song that Scott Baio's in the wrong hole?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
No.
Go on YouTube and just put Scott Baio wrong hole. We almost got when we had Nudia. I had the guy that did the song. He'd agreed to let us play it on the thing, but then Nudia fell apart. So, but if you guys are looking for something funny and entertaining, it's Scott Baio.
Okay.
In the wrong hole.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Look out, Chachi.
Joni used to love Chachi, not anymore.
Oh wow, he did not age well.
Scott Baio?
Yeah.
The thing about those babyface people, aside from Rob Lowe, usually don't age that well.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't think Rob Lowe had a baby face though. He just had a pretty face.
Yeah.
What about Johnny Depp? How did he age?
He's going downhill fast.
Yeah.
I don't know how this guy's surviving all that Me Too stuff because he's done a lot of things that
He's not.
He's not.
Is that what it is?
He's got some issues coming up now about from what do you call it? From what's the Charles in Charge?
Oh,
no. You're talking about
Johnny Depp.
You're talking about.
Oh,
you're talking
no.
about Scott.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's even worse.
No, Chris Baio, that's his brother, who was in the Bad News Bears second movie. Did you know
Really?
Scott Baio? Yeah, he's the pitcher.
Wait, back it up. Wait, hold on a second. Are you telling me that they shouldn't have put Charles in charge?
Probably not.
Okay.
Charles in charge of
I'm really disappointed in Charles.
Well, I guess it came out that he didn't. They didn't press any charges against him, and he took a lie detector test, and I guess he passed. According to him, he passed the lie detector test.
All right.
I don't know, but I was talking about Johnny
I'd like to see
Depp.
Wonder Woman deal with that.
I don't know how Johnny Depp's still getting jobs with all the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though, because I remember when the whole Me Too thing exploded, they were trying to get Don Henley from back in 1980.
Really?
Or 81, yeah. Because I didn't know this. I was reading all about it. I think Colleen actually might have posted this article.
I remember this because I didn't know anything about it.
I didn't either. And because it was basically, because it's the 70s culture was very, free love and all that. And same with 60s and a lot of drugs and all this. Well, apparently in 80 or 81 is after the Eagles broke up. Don Henley had a three-way with two underage girls. And, at that time, I guess it was not really – oh, Chris left us, of course. It was not – it was just normal, I guess. I mean, apparently, I don't know.
Rob Lowe had the same issue.
Yeah. But what happened though is that one girl was all about it and the other girl was not. They were friends that went into this hotel room and basically he just had his way with both of them. Got them all coked up and high and all this and had his way with both of them. Man. And they took pictures of it though, and the one that was against it the whole time kept the photos.
Oh.
And this story did break after it happened, but Jerry Brown, who was governor of California at that time, covered it up. Apparently, this is all the story. This is what the article is saying.
Did Linda Ronstadt make him cover it up?
Yeah, Linda Ronstadt is basically he got all of his friends to help him get the story to go away.
Hotel California.
Yeah, but that's what the song "Dirty Laundry" is about, though. Is that the one person in the press who actually learned about the story was trying to dig at it, and that's what he was writing about. It was like,
she's a bubble-headed bleach pond.
Yeah, well, just that you're trying to make something out of nothing.
But the story was true, though.
Well, that's what this article claims. I can't say if it's true or not.
Oh, because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But that's what the Me Too movement was saying, that like Don Henley's next.
But the guys that we know, like I said, I don't want to get into this whole thing, but yeah. Anyway,
welcome back, Chris.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh! What happened to all those guys? Well, a couple of them are dead.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, you had John Travolta made it, but that was about it.
That was one of those shows.
I thought you were talking about.
Welcome Back, Carter, man.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
It's the Kata.
Oh my God, that's right. John Travolta was on that show. I didn't even make that connection.
That's what made him famous.
What?
That's right.
What? I thought it was Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Yeah.
He's in the Boy in the Plastic Bubble. He's the original Bubble Boy.
That's one of those. I think the song actually is more remembered than the show. It's kind of like how America's Greatest Hero. That song is.
Oh, believe it or not,
believe it or not, I'm walking on it.
Is more remembered than the show.
Believe it or not, George is not at home. What? Connie Selica. What happened to her? I know she did Hotel, but what happened to her after that? She married John Tesh. I think that I'm talking about Connie Selica. That probably killed her career. Married John Tesh. No, you guys don't know.
I think you're dating yourself a little bit.
She's in American Greatest Hero.
Yeah, she's the female lead.
Right.
She hasn't done much at all.
No, she was in the hotel.
I met Robert Culp, actually,
who I guess didn't like the William Catt, who was also
really
William. That's what I've heard. And William Catt was also in MASH, Christmas episode.
So he died actually, like 6 months after I met him. He was at Comic-Con.
Oh, was he?
In 2009, I think it was. Because I actually got his autograph on a Greatest American Hero graphic.
He didn't want to testify against Bill Cosby.
Really?
They were an I Spy together.
Oh, okay. Sure.
It was a joke, but
Oh.
I know I'm dating myself.
I wonder if they spied anything together.
Do what?
I wonder if they spied anything together.
Well, mate. Well, who knows?
It was just bad I Spy joke. So.
I Spy. So was he a nice guy?
Super nice guy. Like, he was very welcoming because I don't think anybody at Comic-Con knew who the hell he was. And I was like, dude, I used to love this show. I'd love to have your autograph, man.
He always played the cool guy. He was always
always the cool guy. Go ahead.
I was saying, it is funny, though, like at Comic-Con, sometimes you get those actors are in one thing and it's very much a cult thing, or because like I think Jack and I in 2011 we ran into the actor. It was the main actor in 2001: A Space Odyssey, and like no one was at his table, no one was talking, and he wasn't upstairs in the sales pavilion where most of those actors are. He was down on the floor in his own little thing, and no one was talking to him. And like Jack and I were kind of like, oh yeah, let's go talk to this guy, and like we talked about 2001: Space Odyssey for a while, and of course we didn't buy an autograph or take a photo or anything, but it was
that I've learned not to do that. After I've told this story before, the guy that was in Beastmaster, Springer. He had a movie with he did the John Cappelletti story where John Cappelletti's brother dies, and it's a moving movie. And I said, hey, he looked at me, yeah, okay, yeah. But are you going to buy something? No, I just wanted to say, hey, you were fantastic in that movie. But he was there to make money, and I wasn't like holding up a line behind it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Mark Singer, that's what it was. He was in V.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
you
guys remember V, the original V?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you watch that show, like his shirt just keeps getting like deeper and deeper and wider until it's like, dude, you can't rock that many buttons open. Like, who does that? Is this lizard atmosphere getting to you that you have to like pop open 2 buttons? Maybe 3? Like, who does 3? Anyway,
speaking of shirts,
you never watched Miami Vice.
Yeah, I was at an outdoor concert maybe 3 weeks ago or so. And you know how everybody, if you're really into a band or an era, like sometimes when you're a kid, you'll dress up like that, or like, you might rock some John Lennon glasses or something.
Sure.
If you're into the Beatles.
I bleached my head white when I was in high school.
Right. So this kid was probably...
Why white?
Go ahead, Chris.
I was a huge fan of 311, and Nick Hexum had bleach white hair.
So this kid, I want to say was probably 16 or 17. And I was sitting there on the grass listening to a band, and this guy walks up, and he's wearing bell bottoms, shirt, like a silk shirt with a embroidery on it, no buttons whatsoever, all the way down to the top of his pants, curly, long blonde hair. And I just wanted to look at him so bad and be like, "What up, Robert?" Because he looked exactly like Robert Plant, and I was just like, it was a dead ringer, But it was just. Yeah, exactly. Like, come to the land where the ice and snow. I just wanted to go like, man, you got some balls to come out looking like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to keep going back to this game, but whatever happened to TUBS from Miami Vice?
Oh my God!
He was going to do it. He said he was going to win an Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony, and a Grammy.
He said that?
He said that.
Wow, that's some bold.
And I don't think he won any of them. I don't even know what he's doing. TUBS.
Huh.
Well, if you give me just a second.
I'm just going to type in TUBS and see what happens.
TUBS!
So TUBS, played by Philip Michael Thomas.
That's right.
Oh, okay. okay.
He was
TUBS.
all 111 episodes.
Let's
see. He hasn't done really anything. He was in a voice in the Grand Theft Auto Vice Stories game, which for all you out there keeping score, that's a game that nobody bought.
Well, is there a video game award for doing a voice? Can you get a video?
Yeah, there's tons of them.
Did you say Vice City? Everybody bought Vice
no,
City.
he was in Vice City. He was in Vice City Stories and Vice City. So yeah, he played Lance Vance in Grand Theft Auto.
He played TUBS' brother. TUBS.
He was on his comeback. He was like, "I'm going to win one of those video game awards."
Yeah, I told you.
And then
he literally did not do anything. So Miami Vice ended in 1990, and he played a bunch of bit roles in a bunch of TV shows with nothing really big. And then, sorry, dude, you didn't win your awards.
Well, he could have been all 111 because the original.
Wait, what? What?
He was Jimmy Smith was what's his name? What's the guy? The lead guy, Don Johnson. He was his lead character. He was his partner.
Yeah.
So he dies. He gets blown up or something.
Well, he's credited for 111 episodes.
Same. Well, then he was doing. I don't think he was. I could be wrong, but in the first episode, I think Jimmy Smits is the one because he's in everything. Jimmy Smits in everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of 80s shows, have you guys seen they're rebooting Magnum PI?
Yeah, I saw that.
And and like I'm already like this is gonna make it like 3 episodes and gone.
I'm gonna watch it because I have to.
Wait, who's gonna be Magnum PI?
That's the guy that looks like he looks nothing like not that he has to look like Tom Selleck, but he just doesn't look like he has that swagger that or whatever you want to call it. That Tom Selleck.
Higgins is being played by a female.
I didn't know that.
Oh my god, they're really doing this.
What?
Yeah.
Julia Higgins. That's funny.
Well, I guess they're trying to take the Battlestar Galactica approach.
Jay Hernandez.
Okay. Edward James Olmos was in Miami Vice, so
I used to do a great impression of his character in Miami Vice. I was a great.
There's no connection between Miami Vice and Magnum PI, but I'm jumping genres so much now that I feel like Doctor Who.
Actually, there is a connection between Miami Vice and Magnum PI.
Oh, okay.
You know how Miami Vice did a lot of music, like they were the music video.
Sure, yeah.
Show. Towards the end of Magnum PI, they were doing the same thing in a lot of episodes. So there's your connection.
Sure.
They would just play music and show a scene. They didn't have dialogue. It was music. So I'm not saying Magnum PI was ripping off Miami Vice.
They should have
Magnum PI was ripping
PI
off Miami Vice
as a female and have it be his daughter or something, like connect.
Yeah, which would make more sense. Yeah,
So, but it would be weird though if she like worked for somebody and it was like, hey, I'm the master of this house and you have to live here.
I always wanted that house, Robin's Nest, right on the beach. Oh, come on, man.
But I didn't want to deal with the guy and the dogs. Like every time he was around, I was like, "Come on, dude! Like back off."
Higgins.
Yeah, I know
Higgins. Yeah,
but
not the
guy. I grew to love Higgins. I went through a Miami or a
oh my god!
I went through a Magnum PI like rewatch one time. When you're taking care of your kids and you're just like, man, there's nothing on TV.
Now, how did it hold up though?
What's that?
How did it hold up?
I still like it.
I enjoyed actually some of the episodes that I was watching because I kept coming back to it because it was just something that was on TV at a certain time of day.
I always wanted to live in Robin's Nest, and I always wanted a Ferrari.
I didn't go through the entire series though. It wasn't like
Well, it's just I know I've talked about this before on probably Married Man forever ago, but like my dad loved Taxi, and everybody loved Taxi back then. But when DVDs started, and shows started getting put out, like in the early 2000s, back on, every show came out on DVD, and we bought season 1 and 2 of Taxi to watch, and there's a few episodes where like, oh yeah, that's still good, and then most of them they were just kind of like, why did people like this? Because it just didn't hold up.
What do you do when you come to your light? Slow down.
Yeah, like no, what does y'all like? What does y'all like?
Oh, y'all like me? Okay.
What is that's the funniest thing? Like in season 1 or 2, whenever that is. But that's one of the funniest ones is Christopher Lloyd just doing that. What does y'all like mean? Slow down.
And Tom Selleck is on Taxi. He's on a couple episodes of Taxi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He hits on a lane.
So
Uh,
Magnum
I think
PI, it looks like is filming alongside Hawaii 5-0.
Makes sense.
okay.
I wonder if there'll be a crossover.
Maybe.
I smell a crossover. One of my favorite things about Taxi was when they ended it and it was like, good night, Mr. Walters, or something. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Like Danny DeVito.
Right. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, at the very end of the show, the little stinger that they had at the end of the show. So,
Be Right Back. I was trying to figure out what BRB was.
I think our Taxi talk drove him away. I know I've mentioned this on a podcast with Jack over 5, 10, 9 years.
You're dumping me?
No, I'm not dumping you. No, but we talked about Taxi, and I think we talked about the gym episode where you get to see a flashback of him in college, and he's really straight laced.
Yeah,
and then like these guys come in and they're like have a joint or something, and he's like, no, I don't want to smoke grass. Then he has okay, and then he has like one toke,
and he's never the same.
Yeah, he's never the same.
Was it? It was Jim that got he got addicted to Pac-Man.
Oh,
right.
Huh.
And Louis De Palma paid him his paycheck in quarters. Here you go.
I just imagine them advertising it on CBS or whatever. Tonight on a very special Taxi. Jim's addiction to video games. I gotta get this. Yeah. Gotta teach these kids a lesson somehow.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Tub. Yeah. So you guys I'm the only one's gonna watch Magnum PI?
Probably,
yeah.
Well,
There's so many. Heck, there's so many shows now that are brand new that I still need to catch up on.
Oh yeah, especially with Netflix and now regular network TV, and I mean, how do you stay up with all of it? So, and
someone told me I should be watching The Sinner. The Sinner, is that what it is?
I never saw it. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
I'm watching the fifth season of The 100.
I think
Netflix
they said
now.
that you're a sinner because you watch so much. Is what they wrote to you.
Oh, is that what it is?
They did.
I don't watch that much TV anymore.
Now that Chris is back, did you guys want to do versus?
Let's do it.
Oh yes.
Do you guys want to do what I brought up last week that we decided to wait till Chris got back, or do you want to do what we talked about at the very beginning?
So either John Hughes,
or the one I proposed last week.
What did you propose last week?
So we vote Chris off the podcast.
Yeah, that's it. He'll come in fourth, like always.
It was
so the premise. Okay, so
product.
I don't want to give away too much of it, Chris, but okay. This verse is the one that I wanted to do. Was you're allowed to eat for the rest of your life any vegetable, any fruit, anything you want, but you're only allowed to eat one animal and everything that comes from that animal for the rest of your life. So you can only choose one animal.
Chicken,
so
lamb,
chicken, beef, fish,
pig,
bees,
centipede.
Yeah.
Bees.
Insects. Yeah. So
you get their honey.
For an example, like if you choose chicken, you get eggs. And what comes from eggs? A lot of baked goods.
So you can never have any baked goods ever.
Yeah, like anything that requires eggs in its recipe, you can no longer have.
So if I pick a cow,
if you choose a cow, then you can never have like a cake again unless it's egg-free cake.
Maybe it's just a steak cake.
You have the cow. Wait, no, I guess you could get the milk and then you can get the cheese.
Oh, that's right. How do you make a cake without milk?
I thought you were going down the route of why would you
want to make a hamburger
cow when you get the milk for free? Okay, interesting.
So, or we can do
John Hughes films.
Let's go with John Hughes.
Okay.
Chris doesn't want any thinking involved.
Yeah.
I was told there'd be no math on this.
I was told there'd be no math.
It's just who would eat bees though?
I gotta look up John Hughes films. So
that's what I'm doing right now. So someone pick the order.
Okay. Eenie. Somebody pick the order. I'm thinking of a number between 5 and 5.
3.
Jack's going first.
I don't want to go first.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's too tough.
All right. Question. Clarification.
Sure.
Are we talking about John Hughes written movies?
I would say John Hughes written movies, yes.
No, I say anything he's involved in it.
No, that's not fair.
Mm.
Well, how do I know which movies he wrote? Is there a list?
I mean, literally, this entire show has been powered by IMDb.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It seems only fair that we finish it.
Let me go on there right now. Let's see here.
Just remember, there's an H after. It's not John Huge.
Well, that's what his wife said.
That would be the normal movies that Jack watches. Mm-hmm. With John Hughes.
I thought your name was John Hugs.
So how do I? All right, let's see. Writer, got it. So written movies by
writer, yeah. Vacation.
Oh my gosh, this is hard.
Yeah. I know, right? There's Beethoven's Fifth. There's Beethoven's Third.
I mean, who doesn't love Made in Manhattan?
101 Dalmatians. Flubber.
Taylor. Oh, he wrote Mr. Mom.
Yeah, Mr. Mom.
That's Jay's pick. You can't pick Jay's pick.
Some kind of wonderful.
No, Jay's pick was Mr. Mama's Boy.
Yeah, I know which one I'm going to pick if I get my first choice.
The TV series Delta House.
I won't win.
All right, Delta House was terrible because after Animal House came out, there was like 15. Each network, ABC, NBC, and CBS, all decided to do a spin-off of it, and all three were terrible.
Well,
technically,
he was only a writer for 4 episodes.
Technically, he didn't write Vacation because it was based off a short story he wrote in college.
Well, still, I mean, if people ransack, William Shakespeare.
It was based off of Vacation 58.
Yeah.
All right, so who's going first?
Well, we got to do the dice.
I don't have any dice.
Doesn't Matt use the dice?
I can go look to find some dice.
Do you have any paper?
I've got the app ready to roll.
All right, all
right, here we go.
Who's this for first?
We're gonna roll for you, Jack.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit this here.
One. We're going for
button.
I got 12.
Wow.
I win.
You've got
10. 10.
I thought 6 and 6 was added up to 12. But
6 and 4. 6 and 4 is up. It adds up to 10.
Still got wood.
It had 6 first there. So.
Okay, well, that's the starting part.
I'm not complaining.
All right, Matt, you were next. Ready?
Yep.
Hold on. Don't pull a Jack.
5
for Matt.
5 for Matt.
Hey, by the way, Vacation counts, right?
Nick. Come on.
Not yet. Okay, not that. Woohoo!
Nick's 12.
That's a bunch.
Nick.
I have.
I almost swore.
So Vacation
7.
counts, right?
You have 7. So Vacation counts, right?
So the order is Nick, Vacation, me.
Wait, no, I don't go. It goes Nick, you, and then
no. It was a joke there.
Oh, okay, I see.
I'm sorry. You're not used to humor. You're on another podcast now.
I'm pretty slow.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. Let's see. So it's Nick, Jack, Chris, and Maddie Matt.
I didn't know he wrote Dutch. I love Dutch.
I know, right?
This guy is
your heart.
This guy.
Nobody knows Dutch though. Only like a handful of people I know Dutch. I love that movie.
I know Dutch when I go out for dinner with someone.
But you said the great outdoors earlier, so I feel like you need to stick with your true pick of the great outdoors.
Flubber, there's Flubbers out there.
Do you really want Vacation?
No, it doesn't make me any difference. You can pick whatever you want. But I will just have you know that at one point in time, I was putting together a top 10 summer movie list, and The Great Outdoors was on there.
The Great Outdoors is a great movie. Actually, if I'm looking at all these, though, now that I'm thinking about them in order, I love Vacation, but it actually is not my favorite John Hughes film. I am true to what I think is my favorite.
All right.
So I will not choose Vacation. I know I will lose. I know that everyone out there go, Nick, you are crazy for not picking Vacation.
I'm totally going to lose. I am totally going to lose, and I don't care.
Well, I'm already hearing it now. I can't believe you guys didn't pick this movie, even people that didn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, here's a preemptive shut up.
Yeah. Okay. look, I love a lot. Actually, almost all of these movies. But even Christmas Vacation, I actually watch more than Vacation because it's just.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
Because it's awesome.
Doesn't have Chrissy Brinkley though.
Actually won
Hello,
me one of these
everybody.
verses at one point.
You know, I came to a crazy realization the other day. I'd never thought about this, but Holiday Road, which I love that song. I love that song from the movie.
Yeah.
Lindsey
I
Buckingham.
had no idea that it was Lindsey Buckingham.
What?
Oh, wow.
I had no idea until very recently, and I was like, mind blown. Lindsey Buckingham.
Holiday Road.
I do that every time I get on a plane. My sister's afraid to fly. Every single time I get on a plane, just before they say, please turn off your cell phones. That's all I write to her. I write Holiday Road, and just to say that's how she knows I'm taking off. And it's just an inside family kind of thing. And she always thinks that's hilarious.
Every time I've flown, every single time I've flown, I say, "Is there a movie on this flight?" A movie.
Okay.
That's from Stripes.
Let's cut to the chase.
My daughter watches. She goes, "That's where you got that from?" I go, "Yes."
We should not delay any longer.
Okay.
All right. So Chris, I'm not Chris.
I know I'm going to lose, but even though of all the films that I've watched the most, Christmas Vacation is by far the one I've watched the most, and I watch every year of my life.
I think that one didn't it win Christmas Vacation? Win the holiday movie thing?
I did.
It did, yeah. But the one that I'm going to pick, because it's the one that I love to watch, like when I see it on, I will stop and watch it, is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
You son of a...
That's the one that I'm going to pick, because I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's just a classic.
That was my pick.
Yeah, that was my pick.
That was my pick. Without question, that was my pick. I said it's not anymore.
I love everything about that movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's one of the top 2 or 3 comedy movies ever.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Nick.
Right.
Thanks. I'm not gonna win, but I took the movie that 3 people wanted.
Where's your hand? Between 2 pillows.
Those are 2 pillows.
How about those beers?
I
still use the phrase. I still use a phrase with my wife when she says like, "Hey, we're a good team."
I love the scene where he has the washcloth to dry off his entire body with. To me, that visual, like every time I'm in a hotel.
Okay, here's the problem I have with it. Scene. It's hilarious because Candy has destroyed the whole thing. Yeah. But didn't Steve Martin see the bathroom when he walked in?
Right.
So
fair enough.
That's on him.
I always look, because of this movie, I always look to see, hey, is there a towel for me to dry off on?
You've never shared a room with Cliff.
Or warm Taffy. Taffy did that to me. I go, dude, why would you use 4 towels when there's 2 of us in here?
Yeah.
Huh? I go, you needed 4 towels to dry yourself off?
3 of them I just were used on my underarms and my privates. But,
every year at Comic-Con, Matt, just so you know, it's Jana, me, and Cliff share a room. Usually, you get 3 to 4 towels per room. Cliff takes 2 showers a day. He will use every single one of them on the first go.
Wow!
So Jana and I will always hunt for a cart, and we will steal every single towel. And he doesn't. He's oblivious to it. That's what's so funny about it. It's like, what? Like, how many times do we have to yell at you? Don't use all the freaking towels.
Man, this sucked. I mean, I really don't know what to pick.
Jack,
what are you going to pick?
You're on the clock.
I could go for the win and just pick Home Alone.
Oh, you think that's the win? Okay. Because I think Planes and Trains and Automobiles is probably the front runner right now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But I gotta go with a movie that if I know it's on. God, that's Pretty in Pink. I like Breakfast Club.
Dennis the Menace.
Mr. Mom, and Dennis Menace was all right. National Lampoon Vacation, which is hilarious. I'm gonna go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It's a solid.
Screw you, Jack. And the horse you rode in on. Okay.
I think I see my house. I think I see my dad.
Would you like a gummy bear? They're nice and warm.
It's in my pocket.
Uh-huh.
And that actor shouldn't have been sitting next to any child.
And by the way, that was in the credit. That was in the credit roll. So that wasn't even like the.
That was one of the. I think we talked about this one time too. Like at the very end of Deadpool, that was a Ferris Bueller shout out, and so many people out there were like, I didn't get that last scene. He just like looks back and goes, "Acha-cha-cha." I'm like, it's freaking Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Hey, bada bada bada. Hey, bada 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 bada.
Wing, bada bada.
All right,
candidate.
Let my Cameron go.
Oh my god, I want to pick this movie, but I know it's not his best. I'm torn. Do I do it?
Go ahead and pick Breakfast Club.
No, I'm not picking Breakfast Club.
Okay.
It would win.
It will win, but it's not my favorite. I mean, this isn't. I'm not.
You sound like my grandson. Not my favorite.
Not my favorite. But I'm here to pick what I love. I'm not here to pick the winner necessarily. Damn it.
There's so many good ones, and as somebody that's gonna pick last, I'm gonna pick for you, the listener.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I got it.
Just campaigning while you're thinking.
The thing is, there are still some really good contenders out there.
Pretty in Pink.
All right, I am going to go
Uncle Buck.
Uncle
Buck is hilarious.
I almost picked Uncle Buck. I am going to have a connection to your pick, Nick.
Okay.
My connection to planes, trains, and automobiles has not only character connections but set connections and locations.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at what's his name? What's it? Not John Candy's. But
Martin.
What's his character's name in Plane, Trains, Automobiles? I can't even think of his name.
Uncle Buck.
No, Steve Martin's character in Plane, Trains.
Oh, sorry,
Mr. Uptight.
I'm on a completely.
So, anyways, Steve Martin's home in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the same home in which not only does John Candy and the Kenosha Kickers drop off Kevin McAllister's mom to, but it's the same home that holds the entire McAllister clan from Home Alone.
Someone's going for the win.
I absolutely love the movie Home Alone. I remember seeing Home Alone in the theater with my buddy Darren. I remember it like as if it was yesterday. Phenomenal flick. It has one of not only is it a fun movie that I probably know every line to, and I know every mistake that's in the movie. But at the same time, it also has an incredible soundtrack. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the better Christmas music albums available.
Mm-hmm. Rocking around.
Yeah, it just that movie. And here's the thing with Home Alone, and I could be wrong. Someone's probably gonna be able to correct me on the Facebook page or in our rebuttal, or if you want to call us on the show and give us feedback. Like, it was a very unique movie. Like, there was no movie like it. Right? It was probably of the time, and this is very John Hughes. Like, he had original stuff.
He did.
Are we going to have a chance to rebuttal it?
Yeah, we will. We absolutely will. And it partnered up in a couple things. So it partnered up some really great comedy, and it also gave a face to Kevin Arnold's voice. That's it.
Talk about someone didn't age well.
I know.
I saw an Easter egg that I had. Well, not an Easter egg, it's a detail that's it's shot so fast that you don't see it, and it's like, how did the McAllisters forget about Kevin? And it's when the scene where they spill the milk, the tickets, the airline tickets are on the counter, and all the napkins get, soak up the milk. They actually pick up Kevin's ticket and throw it in the trash. And I never saw that ever until it was like on just Facebook when they slowed it down to show that there's Kevin's ticket going in the trash. I was like, I never saw that.
The one scene in that movie that always gets me, like, and I don't understand why they put it in there, but it's when Kevin is home alone. And he's setting up the Christmas tree in the honor of his family that he wishes that was there. and he's hanging up the ornaments. And it's a really cool shot. I mean, he's hanging up the ornaments. I think it's a star ornament or a very reflective ornament. And in the reflection in the ornament, he sees
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. And very cleverly, to try and pull the wool over his eyes, he says, "Hey, Mom, Dad, blah, 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 blah." And like, it was wasted because Joe Pesci's like, haha, he's by himself. It's like, what? Like, why put that scene in there when it was actually such a clever way to try and make him think there's someone there, but he immediately brushed it off like the kid had no credibility. I never understood that. It was just a weird throw-out scene.
I mean, I think it's because Joe Pesci already knew he was by himself.
Yeah.
And then the way that he says it, he's like, "Hey, Dad, can you help me?" And then,
"Dad, can you help?" Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's so quiet. Like nothing, because normally you would hear some kind of racket or like "in a minute" or something like that, but nothing happens. So I think it might have just confirmed to Joe Pesci that he was by himself.
So there's my pick. That's Home Alone.
And who was the other? What's the other guy's actor's
Daniel
name?
Stern.
Yeah,
Daniel Stern, who was the voice
of Kevin Arnold's conscience in The Wonder Years.
There you go.
Huh. I mean, he's been in lots of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Who was in that movie Big Blue Thunder?
City Slickers.
City Slickers, yeah.
I go with Blue Thunder.
I've let you guys talk long enough, and I've been looking over the picks. I mean, to say that there's a bottom of this barrel is to leave out so many good movies, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could easily go, Vacation. It was going to be like top up there on my summer movies list, which would make it pretty obvious. But
wait, before you go on, another good movie people should watch is She's Having My Baby. Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth Montgomery. No, Elizabeth.
Well, there's so many. The ones we haven't even talked about yet. Great Outdoors, Weird Science.
Well, before we go over more, we have to hear out.
Okay,
on Matt's
pick.
Yeah,
sure. Go ahead, keep talking. That's okay. But.
he is a broadcaster.
I was going to mention Some Kind of Wonderful. That was a movie that I watched as a young person that I watched, and it really kind of hit me like what was going on with these people's lives. It was very serious, and I don't know. It drew me in a way that seemed more like an adult emotional kind of movie. But I'm not going to pick that movie. I could easily pick Pretty in Pink, or even 16 Candles. Like I'm really torn on these.
16. I know. I like the movie. I'm laughing at it.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm going to go with what we've pretty much already talked about. To avoid it, I don't know. It's got one of the highest ratings on IMDb, as I've been checking your guys' scores against this one. But The Breakfast Club. So it's got Molly Ringwald. It has Judd Nelson, of course, Emilio Estevez.
What happened to Judd Nelson?
He's still around.
I know, but kind of fell off.
We already passed that segment, Jack.
Not only does it have like meaningful connections between these kids, that are stuck together, but also even the adults having that connection that goes on later in the movie. So, I don't know. It's a very. What was that for?
That's what you can see what Nick was doing when I released the video.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it holds up there still. I think I may have been.
I think it holds up,
but it's deeper than some of his other movies that deal with teen drama that might keep it a little bit more lighter.
It's definitely layered. It's definitely layered for sure. I always want to every time I watch that movie, I always want to know the punchline to the joke that Judd Nelson's telling when he's walking in the scaffolding, and he's like, guy walks into a bar, with a poodle under one arm and a 12-inch salami under the other. The bartender says, "I suppose you want a drink," and it's like whatever, and it's like, and then he falls through. He's like, "Oh shit!" And then you never hear the punchline. You're like, "I want to know what the joke is." But that's just me.
If you were cool at the time, you'd know.
Yeah, he didn't do. John Hughes didn't do St. Elmo's Fire, did he?
No.
Okay. Same group of actors, though.
Yeah.
I mean, same.
He launched Pack. so many careers. I mean, even with 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. I mean, John Cryer.
What's his name? What's the guy that's?
I didn't.
He's bald now, but a great actor. He was in Boston Legal and.
What's that guy?
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
John Cusack.
Not John Cusack. No.
Not John Cusack.
But
also John Cusack was in. I was really torn. I really wanted to pick Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles, but
you went for the win.
I'm going for The Breakfast Club. I think it holds up amongst those two just a little bit better. So, but
yeah, I was reading in there the other day on those stupid Facebook things that she was originally supposed to end up with Ducky, and
really,
yeah, but like they changed it at the last minute because they just thought it was unrealistic, which started the whole friend zone thing.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist. Yeah.
Wait, what's the actors? We have figured out that actor.
No, but Chris figured out the punchline to the joke.
Yeah, I googled it.
So. Oh, really? Is that okay?
So, in fairness, so apparently, what I just pasted into our text, which I'm definitely not going to read, there's thanks to a thread on Reddit asking people to come up with the end of the joke. One person suggested this is the end of the pun, but apparently, according to this article that I'm reading. Originally, the writers wanted a joke that ended with the punchline, "Forgot my pencil," which is what Bender tells the group is his reason for coming back. But no one could think of a joke with that punchline, so Bender ad-libbed the joke with a naked blonde instead.
I'm going to go Bender.
Nice. I like your
James Spader.
Oh, James Spader. Yeah, of course.
How do we? That's another one. Because people last week were yelling Chuck Woolery at us. So this week's going to be James Spader. How do you forget it?
I think there's going to be a lot of names that people are going to.
James Spader is one of those actors too that really changed a lot from his 20s to adulthood because you look how skinny he is in the 80s, and I don't know if it's
he always played the preppy.
Yeah, he's a preppy, annoying little idiot.
Jerk.
Because you look at him in a mannequin and everything, and then all of a sudden he gets to and then Stargate's probably the last one where he was still fairly thin.
Sure. Yep.
But then after that, he gets like the man head where it's just meat and round.
Right. Yeah, he totally gets man head.
Yeah.
All right, so you got The Breakfast Club.
All right, so
I got man head.
Comments may commence, I guess.
All right, so Nick, you go first.
Okay.
You got tear apart the other movies here, and
so who's the next pick? Oh, okay. So you got Jack's pick, which is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is it's a good movie, but if you think about it, it's a sociopath movie. If you like that movie, you're probably a little mentally unstable because I'm telling you right now, that's all our listeners. It's true. You definitely got CJ on your side, Jack. He lies to his parents. He lies to the school. He lies to his best friend. He lies to his girlfriend. He does whatever he wants, breaks the law. He's driving without a license.
He was trying to make a nice day for everybody.
Identity fraud,
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman, exactly. The Sausage King of Chicago. Snooty, snotty.
We're all laughing.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
You got Boston's pick, which was, remind me.
Home Alone.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just it's typical. If you think about a psychopathic kid who gets pleasure out of torturing two guys who are just trying to make a buck for themselves. They weren't hurting anybody. They were the wet bandits. They just were having fun. They might be simpletons, but they weren't hurting anybody. And that little crazy kid burned them, put nails to their foot, smashed their face with an iron. It's just
paint cans.
John Hughes was a sick man. Then you got
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, once again, you've got six or seven. Or is it five?
It's five.
Individuals, and what are they doing? They're in detention. And why are they in detention? Because they're misfits. They're all misunderstood, and they don't learn their lesson. Yeah, they might have a bond at the end. They understand each other, but still. And they
got yourself 2 more weeks, sir.
Yeah, exactly. They're humiliating the one guy who's trying to help them, the guy who was supervising the detention, and they just constantly yelling, "You want another one, kid? You got it!"
Stop!
I understand why Matt likes this film because it's the one film where it actually shows art being created in this film. And Matt's a big fan of putting dandruff or snowflakes on his personal art.
His kids can't use poop, but dandruff is okay.
Yeah, dandruff perfectly acceptable as an art form.
Well, it also. Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and it's also his
favorite Christmas gift is given too. Smoke up, Johnny.
I got a carton of cigarettes. My old man grabbed me and said, "Hey, smoke them up, Johnny." Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead. Keep trashing my movie.
About that. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
I do like Emilio Estevez doing the thing with his sweater.
Oh yeah,
that's what I don't know why, but I always remember that scene, and it's just it's a great scene.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right. So let's look at these films.
Oh no, it's Jack's turn to go.
It's my turn.
I'm sorry.
Nick had Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. A lot of flaws in that movie. Again, like I pointed out, there's no way Steve Martin goes into that bathroom with it messy like that without knowing. I mean, he got to do a better job with his credit card. He knows John Candy's come on. So it's a good movie. Is it a great movie? Yeah, probably. But I'm not going to say it's. I can't say that. Chris had Home Alone. I don't know if I can watch a movie that shows that it's okay to leave your kid, abandon your kid like it did. I mean, they just go trip to Europe and say screw their kid. I mean, is that okay by today's standards?
Family services.
They would be. He'd be in social services by now, wouldn't he? Be in foster care.
Yeah,
because they left their kid home alone.
I know, it's right there.
So and we're okay laughing at that and celebrating that at Christmas. That you left your kid home alone? Come on now, that's just crazy. And Breakfast Club, it's got some stuff that. It's it's kind of sexist in some ways and stuff like that. So I don't think by today's standards I can watch a movie like that. I don't think I can okay a movie like that. So
what sexist things are you referring
to? When Bender goes under the table and
sure. Yeah.
Come on, that's just not right. It's just not right. And so I got time period. Plus Breakfast Club doesn't hold up. And so there you go. I'm done. Chris.
So, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. How can I dump on my original pick?
I tried.
Right? What do you say about that movie?
Man, the Technicolor.
He takes off his socks.
Like the Technicolor transfer onto the DVD was just so poorly executed.
They never made a video game out of it.
They never made a video game out of it.
It's true.
The soundtrack is only available on cassette, I think. Shoot. I love that movie. Moving on. Home Alone, obviously awesome. That's my pick. Jack, what was your pick?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller.
Bueller.
So why is Ferris Bueller a terrible movie?
To not push my movie here, but every time I send Jay a text and he doesn't answer, I say Bueller until he answers.
You'll have your time to talk later, Jack. It's Boston's turn.
This is a terrible versus.
And there's going to be still people bitching that we didn't pick one of them.
I know, and again, preemptive. Shut up. The Cubs are terrible, and sorry, people from Chicago.
Just lost Gott's vote.
They did just win the World Series.
Yeah, whatever.
What's the score?
0-0.
Who's winning?
The Bears.
Those are one of my favorite parts.
It's excellent.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. So next, my movie, which is Home Alone, which is great.
Breakfast Club.
Okay. Breakfast Club becomes a little bit easier for me to criticize.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's my biggest beef with the Breakfast Club, right? So you have Ali Sheedy, right? Like, girl's crazy, right? I mean, would you say she's probably...
Well, she falls in love with a robot.
Right, she's a little schizophrenic, you know. Like,
Johnny Five.
She's absolutely insane throughout the entire movie, right?
I think she's misunderstood.
Until the last 5 minutes. So it's like as if this morning of Saturday detention, like, was a life-altering event, which is actually the theme of the movie, which I think is BS. Like, you don't change your mentality of your outlook on life based upon one morning in detention.
She wore makeup and washed her hair, didn't she?
In like the last 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, equally weird, like Emilio Estevez just turns into like this dude who's just got a thing for her.
Well, it's in the script. He didn't have a choice.
I get it, but it just doesn't make any sense, right? And then let's look at the original millennial, right? So the original millennial with what's her name?
Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald. Like, she was just like, name me one person who actually liked her character. Nobody did. Nobody did.
But people
you weren't supposed to like her.
They were all flawed in some way.
Jack, I'm trying to play off like I don't like this movie.
Okay.
Please just go with it for a second, okay?
I hated her.
All right. Obviously, you know, the criminal, the princess, the brain, and the athlete. What a cheesy concept for a character base. But in fairness to the best man wins, I actually love all of these movies. I can't pick them apart, other than the fact that I did mention before we even got into it versus I don't think the Breakfast Club stands up to time. However, I do think that they are probably the quintessential movies that I grew up with, all of these movies. So may the best man win.
Best person.
Well, if you haven't seen any of these movies, watch them. You know?
All right, Matt, your turn to tear these movies apart.
I see what you did there, Jack. All right, my turn to tear these apart. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You know, it's really, okay. I think the problem is that all of these movies are deal with misfits on some level, people that are misplaced in some way. So it is really hard to pick on the misfits. I actually had to go.
Wait, I don't know. Ferris Bueller's not a misfit.
Yeah, but his sister is. It's my time to rip them apart.
Okay.
All right. And what I did was I actually went on to IMDb and actually just looked for a 1-star review because I can't come up with anything. So I'm going to read this. It says, both Candy and Martin are actors that need good circumstances or co-stars to give their performances life. Unfortunately, neither of them has this ability to play this role for the other. As a result, this film is bland from beginning to end and repetitive moments of outright badness.
Okay, so I think that for the record, for people listening, need to hear this.
It says never gets to be fun.
Let the record show that Matt is reading someone else's review.
I can't break it down.
Of a movie,
hey,
right?
can you? Who's this guy that wrote the review?
It's SPUL Spool on IMDb.
You're a loser. You're completely wrong.
I like me.
Here's my review of Spool's review. You're a loser.
He ends it with a movie best forgotten. I won't even read the other one that dignifies making fun of people trying to make it home for family. Because come on, whatever, dude. You missed the point of the movie. So I can't rip on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. What I can say about
but Spool did.
Yeah, Spool did. You know, good luck with you in life.
Loser.
I don't want to save you from an automobile accident. See what happens with you trying to get home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we probably didn't have any family.
I really have a hard time punking on Ferris Bueller's Day Off because honestly, I love that movie. I would have picked that number 1, number 5, number 10. I've watched that movie more than 9 times. 9 times.
9 times.
So I can't. Well, this I will say about it. Is it a prequel to Dirty Dancing? No, not a prequel. Is the mom of Ferris actually the daughter in Dirty Dancing? Like, could it be her story?
The mom of Ferris Bueller was on a soap opera that Guiding Light used to watch, and also in an episode of Magnum PI.
I'm just trying to tie it together to Dirty Dancing somehow.
That's when Jennifer Grey had the same nose in Ferris Bueller and Dirty Dancing. She changed her nose.
Yeah, I think she took a misstep there.
Yeah, I mean, because I get it, because she thought of it as a flaw, but most people who have a unique thing like that, it's your identity in a way. And she just became normal looking after that.
And we talked about it with other actors, like even William Dafoe on the show earlier. It's like his uniqueness made him stand out and be special. And but
if you're doing it to make yourself, if that's what you feel you have to make yourself happy, then I'm not here to criticize you.
Sure,
not everybody can. Might
have sounded like it.
No, I just hope that it was made in ill choices. But
not everybody can be.
She's done nothing since Dirty Dancing, has she?
No.
But not everybody can be Steve Buscemi, and get away on their looks. So
he should have been the new Magnum.
I got one more to criticize, and then we're done. I've got Home Alone, and come on, this led to a rise of kids killing their parents, thinking that they were intruders. Led to a huge rise of people. I mean, Jack's right. It's in the title. The fact that it went to number one and stayed number one, it knocked Star Wars off the box office thing. I mean, that's enough to kick it to the curb. But the kids killing their parents, and then also parents just leaving their kids at home. They're like, I can go to the bar. The movies say Home Alone is okay. It's number one in America.
You guys
So there you go. That's how I'm going to kick Home Alone to the curb.
Not to mention, didn't help arachnophobia people.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Arachnophobia, the movie?
Yeah, no,
the spider tarantulas.
Spiders. Oh yeah.
Gosh, you have to give me some extra cash for that one.
But his scream though it's so good.
So if you hate spiders, don't vote for Home Alone.
If you hate the holidays, don't vote for those. Don't vote for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Home Alone. I mean, come on. Who cares about the holidays?
Yeah,
go for where the heart is. Teenage angst in the 80s. Come on, you know you love it. This is what made Hughes.
And let's be fair. Who didn't want to be Ferris Bueller? Come on.
He couldn't even sing his own songs.
Say Ferris.
Anyway, are we done? Are we gonna wrap? That's the verses this week. It'd be like all we won't list the names. I'm just gonna list the title of the movies, and we know ahead of time we didn't pick the movie you wanted. So Chris, you gonna tell him to shut up ahead of time?
Shut your mouth.
We get it. I mean, you look at the list of John Hughes movies. I could have picked 7 or 8 more.
Oh yeah,
easily. But these are
like I said, it's even a crime that like Uncle Buck and Weird Science and so many other good ones didn't get
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom. Like I said, like I like Great Outdoors, and it's still a good one. There's a lot of them.
Well, I was trying to pick something that had more females as a main lead, as opposed to your male-dominated movies.
Well, yeah, we know.
Okay, that's why you're the 5th broadcaster.
I'm 1 in a million. Great show, kids.
Not yet.
Okay.
So if you guys, you could probably get all these movies on Amazon, couldn't you?
You can. Could.
So you go to Amazon.com or just go to jandjack.com/Amazon or just go to jandjack.com. No, but there's just, I'm in the wrong thing here. jandjack.com. There's a page, just do your Amazon. Click on that. Look up these movies. Watch them first before you make. I think that's what you should do. Is watch them first. Go on Amazon, rent them. You can rent them on Amazon. Watch all 4 of them, and then decide what you should. But use jandjack.com/Amazon or whatever it is. Just go on jandjack.com.
It's Amazon.com/jandjack for everyone who actually wants to play at home.
There you go. Or just go on jandjack.com, which is easier for me to remember, and just click on. And it looks like your normal page. And every little bit helps all these podcasters on this long podcasting list. Now that Matt's doing 10 podcasts,
I have not appeared on a broad broadcast.
You keep denying it.
Like
and
a
also,
spirit
if
animal.
you'd like to help us, you become a patron. Go to patreon.com/jandjack or go to jandjack.com. Little button says become a patron. We're still looking for get that 5,000 mark. And you can find out what Chris has said Nick said today, and Chris said 2 weeks ago or two episodes ago. $1,000, you'll get we'll release what he said.
We'll let you into the secret cabal.
Yeah, and it's funny. But every little bit helps.
Pretty funny.
It was
Anyway,
funny.
it was pretty good. Yeah.
But we'd like to thank we thank all our patrons, but we're going to thank 6 patrons right now. Tack from Tokyo, Eckhart Richter Glaffeler, Molly the Millennial, Ed the creepy, what do you guys call him? The creepy letter carrier, Matt?
Letter carrier?
Letter carrier?
I just think letter carrier. Let him be. Just let
Joanne with the plan and Maggie the Magnificent. Thanks for doing. Thanks for everyone what you do. And also you can help us. Did we get a 5-star review last week? I begged for it.
Oh.
You can go to iTunes. It takes you seconds. You click on iTunes, you click on our show.
So you begged for it?
Yeah, I did. I'm begging for it. But I said only a 5-star. I don't want no 4-star crap.
There it is. Yeah.
5-star review.
Let me read it.
Okay.
So, on July 27th, 2018, from 2009 Apple. That could easily be Chris. I have no idea. Love listening to Jack, Chris, Nick, and Matt ramble on and on. From across the states, North Carolina, Massachusetts, California, and Indiana. They cover movies, TV, Comic-Con, video games, sports, Mentos, back pain, products, and more. It's fun and funny, and you should give it a try. And a 5-star review. So.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
See, and if you watch the video that I released later on, you can see smiles on all 4 podcasters' face.
Well, yeah, and if you post a review, we'll read it on the next podcast.
Yeah, there you go. We won't play your calls or emails, but we'll read your 5-star
We're working
review.
on it. You know.
We want something snappy, though.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.
Take us away, Nick, with your one and only hit song. My little pony. No, you don't have to sing us out.
Get your Terminator out. Play it. Play it, Nick.
Get to the chopper.
All right, guys. Hasta luego. And goodbye.
Bye. Great show, guys. 1 million.
Bye.